This is a factory Doble E boiler. The difference between this and the Doble F is the F had the helical water wall. This just has pancake coils. This has about 400 lineal feet of pipe. It starts out with small, there's 7 different diameters of tubing in here. As you go from cold water, this is laying on its side. The furnace is usually the furnace is up here. This is the bottom, this is the top, the heat comes down here. The water, cold water goes in here, so you extract as much heat as possible from the combustion. The water goes through all of these things. Somewhere around here it turns into steam, and then the steam goes through this interesting thing here, which is a quartz rod controller. It expands and contracts with the steam temperature. This is the superheater, which heats the steam hotter than it would be if the water was just boiling. And then the steam goes into the engine. These are very efficient, they're very safe. They're much easier to build than the old-fashioned boilers because there's very little welding. All you need is a coiler, and I have coiled a number of these myself, and it's not easy to do, but it's certainly possible. And these are technically called monotube steam generators. They are not called boilers. People who do not know all the technical stuff or don't worry about it will refer to these as a flash boiler. So when people talk about a flash boiler, which is technically slightly different because that was something that was invented by Serpollet over in France, but essentially it's the same difference. It's a very fast, very efficient. You'll have maybe 1 quart, 2 quarts of water in here maximum, so there's nothing really to blow up and explode and cause any problems. And because of the small amount of water, it takes very little time for it to heat up and get going. What we have here is a monotube boiler made in the Doble tradition. This was not made by Doble, it was a smaller half-size one. And it is upside down because this is the bottom where the water goes in and the exhaust things go out. So what you have is the cold water comes in here and circles around, and you have a very small diameter pipe here because you're just bringing in water. As the water gets heated up, the purpose is to get as much heat away from the combustion gases as you can before they go up the chimney. And that's where your boiler efficiency comes in. So that's what a good monotube pancake coil looks like. We are now going to see what the other end looks like. This is where the combustion chamber is up here. The combustion chamber is up here. You have a swirl going around. You have the flame here. Here's your water wall. Trying to get as much as you can away from here so you don't melt things down. Then, here is where the superheated steam comes out. Your superheater is this big coils here. They're very, very thick walled, and they've got to withstand up to 1,000 or more degrees of heat without melting. These 3 rods here are where the steam goes in just before it goes out to the engine, and that's where the quartz rod controller is. We will show you the quartz rod controller shortly. You should remember that this is laying on its side, and it should be with this end up. So that the water comes in the bottom and goes up this way, steam comes out the top. And so gravity is very important when you have a monotube boiler, so that they're set up properly.